Hey everybody, Brian Johnson here. Welcome to BriFly. This is episode 6. This is a YouTube channel that I've been using to share my experiences and some successes, but mostly failures in indoor skydiving. I don't know if you've seen any of our other videos before, but just to give you a quick history, my wife took me to iFly in late 2022, December actually, as a surprise birthday present. And I thought it would be the kind of thing where I'd go once and like a lot of people just scratch it off the bucket list. But I got addicted to it pretty hardcore and now I've been going almost every week for a year. So I thought it would be fun to create some blog entries, create some video clips, and share them here for other people who might, be like me and get hardcore hooked on this stuff. So for session 6 or visit 6 to iFly, because I've been making a blog entry and I'm trying to make a video for every visit, I realized I didn't catch the live videos. I didn't download those of my sessions. And it's probably because my boys were with and I didn't want them to die. I was too focused on their safety. But for this episode, I just wanted to point out one important thing, if I haven't mentioned it before, is that once you've gone a few times to iFly, your instructor might mention this site here called Tunnel Flight, where you can register a nickname or your handle, and then start actually checking out or getting signed off on various skills. So my handle is BriFly, and currently I'm completely signed off on level 1. But back here on my 6th visit to iFly, it was very exciting because I got 3 of the moves signed off on, where an instructor says you're doing these well enough that I give them the A-OK. What really helped me was this Tunnel Flight has a YouTube channel associated with it that has these short, like 1 to 3 minute videos on all the different skills. So you can watch them, and even though you can't really practice this stuff at home, I'm a dork. I even for this skill, the belly flying neutral position, I just laid over a small end table and was trying to practice the good posture, right? Like the chin up and the arms wide, legs bent the right way and that kind of stuff. That really helped me. But a couple other things that really helped me that I didn't really fully understand until much later in my iFly visits is a couple things. Number one, when you're first learning these skills, they're going to, for safety reasons, keep the wind turned down so that you don't just, get your positioning just perfect and rock it to the ceiling, right? Like they want to keep you low, so if they need to grab you, or if you're falling off to the side or going to crash into the ground, they can save you. So when you're first starting out, just realize that as you're even getting your posture right, you may only be getting a little bit off the ground and just feel exhausted afterwards because you're so tense. And for me, I was feeling like I must not be doing this right because I'm not getting enough air. But no, they just, again, have the wind turned down for your safety. The other thing, let me see, what was the other skill? So I did neutral belly position, belly fly turns. Let me just put that one up. Another thing that helped me feel better about my noobness is that, at least in the Minneapolis tunnel, it is, I think, 2 or 4 feet skinnier than a big tunnel like this. I can't remember if it's like most tunnels are 14 feet and the Minneapolis one is 12 or something like that, but it is a smaller space. So I remember feeling like when I was first doing my left and right turns, I would sometimes clip the side of the tunnel, right? Or start kind of wobbling, or potato chipping, I think they call it. But again, that's like okay, and something that I don't feel as bad about now, because really it is a tighter and a smaller space, at least where I fly. And also another thing that helped me feel better about my noobness is not all that long ago, I was flying at iFly, and the other person who took turns with me was somebody who had done like 200 real out of a plane jumps and had never done the tunnel stuff before. And what he told me is that he said, this is a great way to learn and hone your skills because you are forced to do it in this tiny tunnel space. He said, you know, I've only ever jumped out of a real plane. And he goes, you have all the landscape in the world to, you know, fly left and right and flip around and all that kind of stuff because you never have to worry about slapping up against the tunnel and hurting yourself. You can have plenty of room to really stretch your arms and legs and not be perfect. So that kind of made me feel good. He also said that the skills that you learn in the tunnel, again, in those confined spaces, will translate very well to, you know, jumping out of a plane and doing them because you're so used to doing it in this little jar. You know what I mean? And let me just see. I think the third skill was, belly up and down. So again, I said this before, but just to emphasize it one more time, I remember feeling so sore in the neck and shoulders because, I was trying to stretch out and get my arms out as far as I could in front of me and legs out behind me as much as I could, and still just felt like I was barely getting any air. Well, that's because the wind speed was turned down. And once you demonstrate that you're under control, they'll crank up the wind a little bit so that you can, you know, really catch some sweet air and get that awesome sensation of flying. So yeah, again, a big day for me anyway, in that, once I told my instructor I really want to, you know, test out on these skills. Afterwards, she said, yep, I'll sign off on these for you. You just go into the little, you know, on your phone or onto the website and just submit those for consideration. And then you get an email that, they're checked off, and it's kind of cool. So I'm on the board at this point, and hope you'll continue with me on this iFly or BriFly